Hey, sixth graders. Today's focus for personal narratives is going to be about writing about challenges. Today I will read No Place I'd Rather Be by champion figure skater Kristi Yamaguchi, who won a gold medal in the 1992 Olympic Games. Growing up, I have always dreamed of being a professional figure skater. After years of hard work, support from my family, and good coaching, I am living proof that dreams can come true. When I was born, my parents immediately noticed something wrong. My feet were deformed, pointing inward and curling under. I wore casts and foot braces my first 2 years to correct the problem. My casts were changed every 2 weeks. I teetered at first, yet I learned to balance and walk in casts. Soon after the last set of casts came off, Mom enrolled me in dance classes as therapy for my feet. I, however, quickly decided to try something else. Not far from my house was an ice rink and the mall. There, local skaters would perform ice shows. I remember seeing the glittery costumes, the dazzling spotlight, and their graceful movements. I wanted to try skating. I started taking group skating lessons, but I'd cry before class because going into a group scared me. Performing on ice came naturally, but I have always been shy and afraid to speak in group settings. One thing I've never been afraid of is competition. I get nervous like everyone else, but never fearful. For me, skating has never been about beating others. It's been about being my personal best. I progressed through various levels rapidly and gave my first ice performance at age 7. Soon I started winning local and regional competitions. That's because being on the ice has always been the one place I can truly express my emotions. The ice is like home. I began seriously training when I was 9 years old. Mom and I would wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning 6 days a week. I'd skate for 5 hours, then I'd go to school. Since education has always been important in my family, I had to find creative ways to fit in school studies throughout my amateur career. 24 hours after graduating from high school, I moved to Canada. Saying goodbye to my family and friends made me homesick before I even left, but I knew deep down that I had to leave and train full-time to give my dreams a chance at reality. I went to compete in the Olympic Games in 1992. No one, not my coach or even my family, ever talked to me about winning a gold medal. In fact, I wouldn't even allow myself to think about it. I thought that would jinx me. So I went with the attitude that I wanted to enjoy the Olympic spirit. My practice sessions felt great leading up to the competition. Finally, the day arrived. I remember stepping onto the ice and thinking, I can't do this. How am I going to keep myself from freaking out? I took a deep breath and eased into a solid performance that placed me first going into the finals. 2 days later, I was the first of the final 6 skaters on the ice. My long performance started well, but I slipped while landing one of my easiest triple jumps, and my hand touched the ice. I didn't want to make 2 mistakes in a row. So next I did a jump with just 2 spins to play it safe. As I neared the end, I had one more jump. The triple Lutz. Okay, this is it. You have to do this, I told myself. I landed it perfectly. When medals were awarded, I found myself on the top step, the gold hanging around my neck and America's national anthem playing. Words can't describe the overwhelming mixture of emotions I felt. Little did I know how much that one night would change my life. Interviews, TV shows, magazine covers, dignitaries, celebrities, parades, fans, endorsements. My big dream came true when I signed a contract to skate professionally with the Stars on Ice tour. I thought life as a pro would be easy. It's not. It takes as much training now as before. Throughout the tour, special children visit us at practice. Their courage in the face of incredible challenges teaches us so much to all who meet them. It has helped me see that we all have the opportunity to make a difference in someone's life. That's why I started the Always Dream Foundation. Our goal is to make a positive difference in the lives of children. How can anyone love ice? Frozen water can be so painfully hard and oh so cold, just as life can be. Ice doesn't care who skates across its surface. It doesn't care who loses balance and falls on its slippery back. Still, when the lights go on and the crowd roars, it's welcome. There's no place I'd rather be. For me, the ice is a warm world of beauty and grace. Being on the ice is being alive. I encourage you to pursue the things that make you feel alive. And as you glide your way along life, remember, always dream. After I finish this story, I'm going to now reread the first 3 paragraphs, and I want you to listen for any information that you might have missed the first time. So it says, growing up, I have always dreamed of being a professional figure skater. After years of hard work, support from my family, and good coaching, I am living proof that dreams can come true. When I was born, my parents immediately noticed something wrong. My feet were deformed, pointing inward and curling under. I wore casts and foot braces my first 2 years to correct this problem. My casts were changed every 2 weeks. I tutored at first, yet I learned to balance and walk in casts. Soon after the last set of casts came off, Mom enrolled me in dance classes as therapy for my feet. I, however, quickly decided to try something else. Not far from my house was an ice rink in the mall. There, local skaters would perform ice shows. I remember seeing the glittery costumes, the dazzling spotlight, and their graceful movements. I wanted to try skating. So in class, we are going to discuss some of the challenges that Christy has faced throughout her life. Because remember, our focus today is writing personal narratives about challenges we have experienced. So some things that we might discuss in class would be that she was born with a deformity that affected her feet. Or we could talk about when she left her family at the age of 18 to move to Canada. We could talk about how much training she had to do, waking up at 4 in the morning, training 5 hours a day. We could talk about how she had to find ways to fit school in because education is important. We could talk about her actual performance at the Olympic Games and how she made a mistake and it made her scared and do some safe moves before finally ending with a more complicated move. All those ideas would work and are examples of challenges that Christy has faced throughout her life that she wrote about in her personal narrative. In some personal narratives, including this one, the author tells us about going through significant challenges that result in learning or change. So today, I want you to think quietly as you listen to my questions, because this might help you come up with some story ideas for your own personal narrative. What challenges have you faced in school that helped you learn, grow, or change in some way? What is something you have learned from a family member? How did that person teach you this? What is something you have learned from your friends? So hopefully those questions create some type of memory or a thought comes into your head about something that you could use to write for your personal narrative. Today we're going to continue practice writing, so you are going to open up Google Docs and write a short personal narrative about some type of challenge, whether it's something from school, a family member, or something that you've learned from your friends, or anything else in your life that you could think of. You're going to write as much as you can using other elements that we've learned so far about personal narratives and checking for revision and editing, and then you will share that with me and I will give you feedback on how you're doing with writing personal narratives.